So many entrepreneurs wrestle with whether they should be building a corporate or a personal brand. My answer is both, at least in most cases, but here's why. Now, before we get too deep, hear me when I say I get it. Life is moving at 1,000 miles an hour, and building up one brand sounds like enough work, rather much two. Like, how on earth are we supposed to build up our companies, service our clients and customers, and actually even get a minute to breathe while we're trying to do all of those things? I don't want this to overwhelm you. You can totally learn to do it in a way that is more natural, organic, and fluid in your day-to-day operations, so long as you have a little bit of strategy behind understanding who you are, who you're here to serve, and the value beyond the product or service that you offer, the real value that you bring into that person's life. That's going to allow you to create messaging that really resonates with them in a deeper way. Let's look at why you should and a little bit of how you can do both. So first off, the personal brand. One of the things that I love about developing a personal brand is that it makes room for human connection, especially in an age where there is so much that is rapidly evolving around people with tech and AI, and people are already bombarded by enough ads. They are not looking for another corporate friend. They're not like, my buddy Verizon. Oh, Sprint Inc. I can't wait to see them over Christmas. Like, nobody freaking thinks that way. They're more likely to keep scrolling past anything that even looks like an ad or a message from another corporate entity, where the assumption is that it's probably just someone else trying to get into their pockets. However, when you have a good personal brand, it allows you to kind of step out from behind the curtain of what you're already doing, the amazing things that you're already doing with your business, and let them feel like they actually get to see the real you. They see another human being that's actually giving them hope as to what can be achieved out in this world as you're out there doing the darn thing, running your own company. So don't be afraid to let them see a little bit more of you. Now, with that, building up a personal brand is fantastic, but to a large extent, it's not really sellable, right? Like, you could possibly sell your name, image, and likeness and use that for advertisement placement or whatever, promoting other people's products and services, but you can't actually sell you off to another company. This is where it can be more advantageous to also have a corporate brand. That corporate brand is going to help you to show the market that you're really here for the long run. It quickly signals that you are established and that you're not going anywhere, that you are somebody to be trusted as a master of your craft or in offering whatever it is that you offer to the world. It is something that can house your deliverables, your contracts, your intellectual property. And the bigger thing of it is that it's something that is ultimately sellable. You can hand it down to one of your children or pass it on to another relative. You could sell it to another company or another individual that wants to take and run with that business. Otherwise, what's going to happen if something happens to you, or maybe you're down for 3 months, or you decide that you're going to relocate and you can't take that business with you? There are so many different things that can happen over the course of our lifetimes that we would have never anticipated when we started that business, especially for those of us that started at bootstrap. But believe that there are possibilities for you to continue to grow beyond what you may want to continue to manage, and that there are ways where it's possible to set it up in such a way that makes it appealing for partnerships, for stocks, you name it. But you got to make sure that you build up that corporate brand. Otherwise, what do you really have to sell them? When you're looking at transferring a business, you're really selling them typically a set of systems and processes used to accomplish an end of generating revenue, a revenue generating end, but also the identity that you have established within the marketplace, the recognition that you've already built up with consumers who know who you are and what they can trust you to provide. So that in itself also has value. If everything is tethered to you being active in that business and people seeing your face and talking to you on the phone, you might have a really great company and it could be incredibly lucrative, but the chances of it being sellable are pretty slim. So make sure that you're mindful of that. Now, putting them both to work together. One of the things that I would say you definitely want to be mindful of as you do this is how things are structured, not only on the front end, but also on the back end. Where is that line of separation? Well, I can only say it like mine are attached, but also perforated. So Ox and Iron handles the deliverables. When clients are looking for logos, websites, print and digital media assets, all of those get processed and billed through Ox and Iron. However, the brand Revivalist, which also allows you to quickly make connections on who I am and what I do. That right there serves as the advisory and consulting seat of my work. So you see that the two have their own roles and at any point could be separated. It's just in the moment one is feeding the other. Like they both work in tandem where people can come through either door and still land at a place of having awesome brand services. Win for me, win for them. However, if at any point, especially looking at how things are so rapidly evolving, if at any point I need to remove Oxidine from the equation, maybe pass it down to my daughter, I can do that. My books should be clean in separating them where revenue may be coming from both sides, but there should be an easy way for people to distinguish what's going on where. This could even be like with your bank or whatever the financials. You don't want to have them, if you have two separate brands that are building up, don't have them all like commingled. Like make sure there is distinction in there. Again, I know it can seem overwhelming to think of the idea of trying to build up this amazing corporate brand that is crushing it in your area or even around the globe, as well as building up a personal brand that helps you to stand out. But understand that each has a distinct purpose and each can open up some really incredible opportunities. My question for you today is this something that you are leveraging as you go to build your own legacy? Are you building both a personal and a corporate brand, or is it something maybe you've been thinking about? If it's something that you are doing, I'd love for you to post in the comments below, sharing what has worked for you for other people who might be interested in exploring the same. Before you go, last thing, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you catch more on the conversation as we keep things going with how you can build an amazing brand and legacy impact with what it is that you have in your hands. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I look forward to connecting with you again here soon.